hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. This is my first in sort of like my end of year content
that I wanted to start doing before the end of the year, but I was reading this massive beast the last like 150 pages on the final day, and like the days previously as well, trying to get to it, and I did finally finish Les Mis, so I'm so happy about that, but I didn't really have time to really do anything much in the weeks before. But anyway,
this is my quarter four like statistics and the freak out tag sort of thing, because I was doing it each quarter throughout the year. I'm probably not going to continue that next year, well this year. I'm probably just going to do it in the middle of the year like everyone else does, but it was quite fun doing this, and yeah, it's probably not going to be too long this video because I have cut out quite a few questions that aren't really applicable anymore, or I just couldn't think of an answer. But anyway, first I'll just quickly go through my goals and my like stats, and then I'll get to the questions. So my reading goals for quarter four was read 70% of physical books from my pre-2024 TBR. No, I read 60%. I read 10 books physically, and 6 were from pre-2024, not 7, so oh wow. Read 6 books. I read 15 books in total, and by the way, this is including content from October, November and December only. Net 15 books hauled. Where's haul mines, unhaul? No, I hauled 19 books and I unhauled 2. So that's 17. Really close. And then also read 4 of my 2024. No, I read none. I did really want to try and finish like People in History by Felice Bacano before the end of the year, but it was just taking too long and I didn't get to it. Like, look how bright white that is. It like shines. Anyway, so no, so I did not meet that goal, but whatever. I had other things on my mind. It wasn't really my priority anymore, reading, so yeah. And then my year at a glance. I will go probably through maybe some more of these like when I do the stats and reviewing and stuff like that, but this is just for this quarter. So in October I read 4 books, November 4 and December 7, 15 total. For page count, October 623, November 612 and December 641. However, this doesn't include Les Mis. I did read like a massive portion of Les Mis in December, like over 200 pages. Maybe a bit more actually, I can't remember, but I didn't include that page count in any of the months that I read it in because it would have been too difficult to try and work it out. I've just added that content at the end. But anyway, for hours listening, I didn't really listen to anything in October. 16.34 hours in November and 19 in December for 23.34 total. A star rating average for October is 3.063, November 3.625 and December 3.536. So it got like a little bit better, and it went bad or worse, and then the average for the whole quarter was 3.408, which is the lowest it's been. For my quartile average, have I already said that? I can't remember now. October is 5.856, November 6.518 and December 6.603 for 6.326 total, which is also the lowest of all the quarters. The other ones were all in the 7s. This is in the 6 point, I think it's a 6.3. I need to redo the average because I can't read my writing anymore, but why am I showing you? It doesn't really matter. For 5 stars, none of the months, no 5 stars at all. For DNFs, I had 1 in December. For hauled books, I hauled 10 in October, 4 in November, and 5 in December, which is a lot still, but it's a lot less than quite a few other months, I feel. Well, definitely last quarter anyway, but yeah, for 19 total, which compares to 61 for quarter 3, 38 for quarter 2, and 58 for quarter 1. So I have got better, but at the same time I haven't really been going to places where I buy books. But yeah, and then the unhauled, I just said, yeah, just the 2 in November. So yeah, that's the stats. Anyway, to the tag. The first question is, what is the best book I read in this quarter? And I would have to say My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I really enjoyed this book. I gave this 4.25 stars. It's basically following these two high schoolers, Abby and Gretchen, and they sort of like, it starts with them sort of becoming friends, and it's like so like 80s references, all of like the music and the films and stuff like that, which I absolutely adore. I love 80s references. And they're sort of like outcasts in a way and made to feel othered, so they like start a friendship. And then one night, when they're teenagers, a little bit after, they go skinny dipping, and then like the next day after, like Gretchen starts acting weird, and it's like, what's going on with her? Is she maybe possessed? Is there maybe an exorcism? I don't know. But anyway, that is sort of the story. But I just really loved the way that the like characters sort of like had this friendship and like explored that, and also the like supernatural parts and sort of like horror parts of the book were like quite interesting. It does sort of like get under your skin, like what on earth is going on here. And yeah, maybe I did wish a few things were a little bit better explained at the end. But on the whole, it was a very, very enjoyable read, and I would so recommend this. Also, I would say Evenings and Weekends was probably one of the best of the quarter by Oshie McKenna. Just basically following a whole different cast of like characters, quite a lot queer, in sort of like London and also Basildon. Is it Basildon? I can't remember. Anyway, and there's like a whale stuck in the Thames, and it's only over like about like 4 days sort of mostly, but then there's also other parts as well. And there's a whale stuck in the Thames, and it's like over a sweltering hot summer, and just exploring their lives and like the impact of like secrets sort of like that they've harbored for so long, and like are they going to come out and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really, really well written. I did like most of the characters. I thought they are like quite well done. It's like a literary book, but I would say that I do feel he did maybe try to do a bit too much and maybe didn't really land it on all of those parts, and there are probably a few too many characters to try and follow the storylines, but yeah, on the whole it was a decent read, and I would recommend this. I would definitely check out him again. Is what is the best sequel? None of the books are technically a sequel, because I don't really read anything like that, but I did end up reading all the books in the dinosaur sort of like comic series, by written by James Stewart and illustrated by Kay Romy. So possibly I could say Dinosaur Philosophy. I think it's probably my favorite of all of them, but I literally just finished this yesterday as well, Dinosaur Friendship, because I wanted to get my books read to an eve on 120 instead of 119. Superficial, I know, but I did want to actually continue to finish this series, well, this collection of books within the year anyway. So I would say they're basically just like these comics that feature dinosaurs, and they explore themes of like anxiety and like friendship and relationships, like the working world, and sort of like depression and different life stuff like that. And yeah, I enjoy it. It's quite like rateable parts of them. I would say for star rating, 3.75 for the first two and 3.5 for Friendship. But yeah, would definitely recommend all of them, and I would like to come back to them maybe like just to see or whatever. So yeah, I guess them, but it's not really a sequel. What is the new release for the next quarter, but I'm just gonna say it for the next like half of the year, that I really want to get to, and that is Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. Earlier in the year I read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and it is one of my favorite of the year, one of my favorite books I've ever read. His writing is exceptional, and the storytelling was so good. I don't really know what it is about. I think it's like a boy or tries to help like a woman with like dementia or something, I believe. But yeah, I don't really know fully the ins and outs, but I would love to read this. But yeah, I haven't pre-ordered anything, but we shall see when it is released. Also, Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, but I think that comes out in like August, so don't need to talk about that. Next is what is the worst book I read in this quarter, and I would have to say It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over by Andermarkin. I think this is probably like a 2.25 maybe star rating, I'm not sure, but it could be less. It's about like a woman that is possibly dead. She's in this like weird place and she sort of does weird things. I don't know, it's very, very confusing. It's in a similar vein to This Is How You Lose a Time War, that like you don't really understand what is actually happening, but you also don't understand why things are happening, and it's just very, very confusing. Made me feel like a bit like stupid at times as well. Like, it is well written, I guess, for the like what it is, but at the same time it's just like, I don't know. Also, I've kind of forgotten everything about it. But yeah, that has happened to quite a few of the books. Like, I can't remember things I read like in December. Like, my brain's just not like keeping knowledge there anymore. But yeah, this is definitely the worst book I read this quarter. But I can't really elaborate on it too much. I just didn't like it, so I would not recommend that at all. Next is what is the most disappointing read, and I'd probably have to say LMNOP by Mark Dunn. This is following like letter exchanges between Ella and her cousin, can't remember, and also a few other people on the island of Nollop. And on this island, it's where this guy called Nevin Nollop, I think it was Nevin, I don't know, he created the phrase, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, which uses all the letters of the alphabet, and then over time different letters drop in from like their epitaph, and the like government and stuff are thinking like, oh, it's a sign from Nollop that like we shouldn't be using these letters anymore, that's why he's dropping them. So over time, all like basically they have to stop using these letters from talk and writing and thinking, in a sense, and there's like sort of like consequences if they do use it. So it's like sort of like totalitarianism and sort of like a discussion on that, and like the power of those in charge and how they like, you know, make you believe certain things and stuff like that. But it's sort of like they're sort of like trying to like resist and think of a different like way out of it and stuff like that. But yeah, I felt like it was fine, but it definitely could have done a lot more with the story. I felt there was like a love thing that just was a bit irrelevant, and yeah, some of the things that I didn't really like. But yeah, I recommend it for what it tries to do, and it is you know, quite an accomplishment, because also in the book, as you go further along, as each of those letters are not able to be used because it's letters, the author can't use them in the letters. He sort of like tries to like think up of like different ways to say so and so without using a certain letter. So yeah, I would recommend it sort of, but you don't have to read it. And I just felt like it's more the story I didn't like, but the concept was fine. So yeah. Next is what is my surprising read, and possibly my best friend's exorcism, just because I wasn't really expecting to enjoy sort of like a horror supernatural sort of thing like this as much. And in a sense, they're not what I fully enjoyed. I feel like the best parts of it was the 80s references and the friends becoming friends and exploring their relationship. But yeah, I would say this. And then also my fave like new author, someone that I've read, I'd probably say Grady Hendrix. I do have a few more books by him that I would like to check out. So yeah, him. And the next question is, what is a TikTok recommendation that I've regret reading? I would say It Lasts Forever and It's Over. Not because I haven't really seen it being talked about that much, but quite a few people that I have watched have read it, and they're like people that I share interest with, and we usually like other books. So I did sort of like get this as a recommendation, and I did really regret reading it. I should have DNF'd it like that far in, but I didn't because it's short. But that, and also Guilty by Definition by Susie Dent, has sort of been, you know, doing the rounds. People do really enjoy this book. Yeah, I can't remember, I think I gave it like 3.5. Like it's enjoyable, it's like well written, it's just a little bit like clear that she's sort of just trying to push in these definitions of so and so words and stuff like that, and also the story just sort of was a little bit boring at times, and I didn't really care for the characters wholly, and yeah, it wasn't really that good, but it was fine. It is what is a book I cried reading. I'd probably say Evenings and Weekends. I didn't actually, I think, fully cry, but I did get glazed over. I did get quite emotional because some parts of this sort of exploring sort of like queer shame and this idea of it, like someone saying that you're going to leave this town and you're going to have a certain life and stuff like that, but that isn't for me. And that sort of like notion reminds me of Lie With Me and a few other books, sort of like a doom sort of like love. Obviously it's not really explored too much in this book, or goes anywhere, but that sort of parts were a little bit emotional, and some other parts as well about like life and stuff like that. And yeah, so I would say that. Next is a book that made me happy, My Best Friend's Exorcism. I enjoyed this book quite a lot, yeah, it was quite fun and stuff like that. Also, some parts of the dino thing was a little bit, humorous. So yeah, the penultimate question is, what is the most beautiful book that I purchased in Q4? I can't fully remember because quite a few of them I actually left in Birmingham. I would say Little Scratch by Rebecca Watson. I sort of like the face on the cover, and yeah, but I can't fully explain. Also, like, I did get 2 new versions of Son of Achilles and Circe from the charity shop, and I do really like this covers because I wanted them. But I can't fully think of anything else to say. And then finally, what is a book that I bought in Q4 that I really want to read in the next half of the year? I would say Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I need to read this book. I wanted it so badly when it came out, but I was waiting for my pre-order to come to my home address, which I had, like, it just came like 2 days after I left for uni, so I needed to wait until I come back, and I did bring it back up to me, and I didn't read it, and now I've left it there ready for January when I go back. So yeah, I just need to actually get to reading this book because I want to so badly. I love Sally Rooney. But yeah, that's the questions. Hope you enjoyed these set of videos throughout the year, and yeah, I hope you have a nice morning, even though wherever you are in the world. Happy New Year once again, and I shall be seeing you very soon for some more end of year content.